We have exclusive new reporting. CNN is learning top energy and nuclear officials are planning to meet at the White House in the coming days in an attempt to dissuade President Trump from resuming testing of the nation's nuclear weapons. It's the latest sign of fallout after President Trump instructed officials via social media to resume testing of nuclear weapons. I want to bring in CNN's Betsy Klein to talk about this. Betsy, what are these officials saying?
Well, Brianna, you might remember that absolutely stunning announcement from President Trump on social media just moments before he was set to meet with China's leader Xi Jinping in Asia just a couple of weeks ago, that he was directing the Pentagon to immediately begin testing of U.S. nuclear weapons on an equal basis. And that would mark a major shift in U.S. policy. The U.S. has not tested nuclear weapons since about 1992 during the Clinton administration. The U.S. does today, however, test every part of its nuclear weapons systems except for the explosive material in those nuclear weapons. Trump recently told 60 Minutes when asked about this that he was doing so because Russia's President Vladimir Putin had announced that Russia had successfully tested a Poseidon nuclear torpedo, and he said, "I don't want to be the only country that doesn't test." But now we are learning that top energy and nuclear officials are set to brief the White House and the National Security Council in the coming days, an attempt to steer the president away from this. Two sources familiar with the matter say that Energy Secretary Chris Wright, along with the National Nuclear Security Administration leader Brandon Williams, as well as officials from the U.S. National Laboratories, are planning to inform the White House in this meeting that they do not think that blowing up weapons for nuclear testing is a tenable strategy. These officials, according to one source, are prepared to tell the Trump administration that there's, quote, not going to be any testing, an attempt to steer the White House into what they feel is a more workable plan, according to these sources, that doesn't involve blowing anything up. But a White House official noted that all testing remains on the table. Ultimately, this is going to be the president's decision, but we do expect the president to head this way to Florida in the coming hours. We'll see if he weighs in on this, Brianna.
All right, we'll be looking for that. Betsy Klein, live for us in West Palm Beach. Thank you. Jessica?
President Trump is not happy as Congress prepares to force the release of the Jeffrey Epstein files. In a new social media post, the president accuses Republicans of caving to Democratic pressure, saying, quote, "Some weak Republicans have fallen into their clutches because they are soft and foolish. Epstein was a Democrat, and he is the Democrats' problem, not the Republicans' problem." Joining us now from California, Republican Congressman Kevin Kiley. Congressman, thank you so much for coming here and being here with us this afternoon. We appreciate it. I want to start first with this potential vote. You did not support the discharge petition. How are you planning to vote next week?
Yeah, I'm going to vote yes. I mean, I've said all along I'm for, total transparency here, consistent with protecting the victims. And so this is going to be coming for a yes up or down vote on the House floor next week, and I plan to vote yes.
Your Republican colleague, Thomas Massie, told our Caitlin Collins that in his words, he expects a deluge of Republicans to vote